you anyway. And then we had the corrected version of the numbers, which went down to about 22,
no,
24,000.
they were the names of people. They were the ones they could put a name to. They don't know how many people are lying in rubble still. They've no idea. People have been killed.
We know how many,
people have been killed in gigantic numbers week in, week out. You know that, and I know that. I've interviewed doctors. I've interviewed doctors in hospitals saying.
Islamnet is establishing a masjid and a community center. If you donate to build this masjid, Allah will inshallah build a house for you in Jannah with bricks of gold and silver. Every person who prays in this masjid, every child that memorizes the Quran, you will inshallah share in that reward. Donate now, guys, and do not delay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters and dear friends. Piers Morgan has become pro-Palestinian all of a sudden. Overnight, subhanAllah, brothers and sisters. We're going to be reacting in this video, inshallah, to one Zionist shameless woman, a witch. She looks like a witch, and subhanallah, a pro-Palestinian activist who is having a debate, inshallah, on this topic, inshallah. And oddly, Piers Morgan is pro-Palestinian today. Okay, let's find out, inshallah. Here's the video, inshallah. Let's get straight into it, brothers and sisters, inshallah.
You seem to be a little obsessed with this.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with how many civilians are being killed.
All right, let's say we take the so-called Gaza Health Ministry's numbers, the corrected version. Do you remember what that is now?
That was the number of people they could actually put a name to, right?
The corrected
they could put a name
version.
to.
So we went.
And you think that's the total number of civilians killed?
The last time I was on your show, you had Barghouti saying that there was 40, 50, 60,000 dead. Let's just add numbers on, because why not? Everybody will believe you anyway. And then we had the corrected version of the numbers, which went down to about 22,
no,
24,000.
They were the names of people. They were the ones they could put a name to. They don't know how many people are lying in rubble still. They've no idea. People have been killed.
We know how many.
People have been killed in gigantic numbers week in, week out. You know that, and I know that. I've interviewed doctors. I've interviewed doctors in hospitals saying 500 people are being brought in every single day. But what staggers me, Fleur, what staggers me is that you, like the government spokesman I interviewed, you are certain you know exactly how many terrorists you're killing, but you've no idea how many civilians. Let me bring you Wajah.
How big they are.
I mean, it's amazing, subhanAllah. You know the way she makes it seem as if the numbers are being wrong, apparently, according to her, because anything that comes out, objective news is false. It's as if it was like the numbers were 230, and then the Hamas members came and said only 300 Palestinians killed, and they made it out to 40, 50,000, 100, 200 fold. Oh yeah, she's saying, it's 22,000 or something like that. And you can clearly see, brothers and sisters, that is because that is the people that have got named to. Nobody knows how many people are under the rubble. Have you guys seen Gaza? Have you seen the image of Gaza? Imagine how many people are still under the rubble. You shameless dirtbags, you Zionists. This is the end. This is the beginning of the end for Israel, inshallah. Let's carry on.
This is my problem with when I get into numbers with the Israeli side, is that they seem to be utterly emphatic in their knowledge of how many terrorists they're killing, but no idea how many civilians, and almost don't care. It's the fog of war. Churchill didn't count.
The fog of war was used by the UN, not us. When they were
asking Wajah. Sorry,
when they were justifying the wrong numbers.
You could let him speak,
that
please.
Was their expression.
Let him speak. Let him speak, please.
And again, once again, they know exactly how many terrorists they killed. Apparently, remember at one point they were saying half of those 50,000 that's massacred, half of them are Hamas. Bullcrap. Absolute nonsense. They know how many terrorists they killed, but they don't know how many civilians.
It's not that they almost don't care, Piers. It's that they don't care. And we know that the number is probably higher than 36,000 people killed. You and I have eyes. The world has eyes. We have seen Rafah get bombed. We have seen the charred bodies. We have seen Israel bomb churches, mosques, refugee camps. We have seen Israel kill the staff of World Central Kitchen and then say, oops. We have seen Israel occupy Palestinians in the West Bank. There's no Hamas in the West Bank. What's Israel's excuse for killing over 500 people in the West Bank? With Ben-Gvir handing out, excuse me, with Ben-Gvir handing out weapons to extremist settlers.
You're deluded if you think there's no Hamas in the West Bank.
Exactly, there is no Hamas in the West Bank, and they are still killing people in the West Bank. They still do not give them their rights, as you can see, subhanAllah. So brothers and sisters, these people are just, no shame. Like the Prophet ﷺ said, if you have no shame, do as you please. And that's exactly what they're doing. But only in this life, in the Yawm al-Qiyamah, on the day of judgment, you're going to see, inshallah. You are going to see, like Allah says in Surah Mutafifin, the believers will be sitting on reclining chairs. and laughing back at them and seeing if they are being paid back for what they have done.
But to you, can I just say, but to you, Hamas doesn't control the West Bank. Facts, please. But to you, every Palestinian is a terrorist. You don't care about the women. You don't care about the children. You don't care about the majority of people that have been killed are civilians. To you, it's all terrorists.
You don't
this
know
is
anything. You just
okay, but I can
Israel,
judge you by. Can I just finish? I let you. I didn't say a word.
Can you let him finish his point?
I didn't say a word.
You can't keep talking over him, Fleur. Let him finish his point.
He's lying.
First of all, okay.
Well, he listened to you. So let him speak.
This is what I say is she represents the general psychopathy of the Israeli government, where they come on television and they think the rest of the world actually is like them, that they don't see Palestinians as humans, and they say these talking points. And Piers, sometimes when you invite me to debate, I sit here and go, I don't have to say a word, because they're undermining themselves and their own cause in front of the global stage right now. I mean, the fact that she knows, but like somehow magically, they're all terrorists, but when you ask them repeatedly, well, how can you not know how many civilians there are? And they say, well, we don't know. What civilians? And then she goes to World War II, compares Palestinian moms and children to Germans, to Nazis. Okay, fine. Go for it.
That is so valid, because in Israel, they don't see Palestinians as humans. That's why you see podcast people saying, if I could press the button and wipe out Gaza, I would do that. Generally, inside Israel, they do not see Palestinian babies. You've seen your general layman Israeli Zionists mocking the deaths, literally mocking people who are dying and being massacred. They don't see Palestinians as humans. Not only that, she's equating the Nazi Germany, the World War II. The real Nazis are you guys. You are the real Nazis. You guys are the real Nazis. And you are equating the Palestinians to be Nazis. You can't make this up. The irony, you are the real Nazis. That's been recorded in 4K, HD. The whole world can see what kind of vile Zionist scums you guys are.
Talking about mosques, and you're talking about churches, and you're talking about schools, and you fail to mention that that's exactly where Hamas hide. Not just that, they build mosques on top of tunnels, on top of terrorist installations. You want to ignore the fact that Hamas are cynically using their own people. They use their people as a defense strategy. They're using our hostages
so
as
Israel
a defense
bombs
strategy.
Rafah and kills kids?
Israel
bombs World Central Kitchen staff?
Terrorists. Israel bombed